All right, so which music do you like? Because we can.
Yeah, let's pick some good background music for doing the gold files. Hey, welcome. The last video was the finale, but as promised, we're gonna go through the gold files and get more information on this game, more background stuff on characters,
and
what's
also,
going on.
Kay is not voiced by Troy Baker. It's just Sigma.
And Christos was really excited for Troy Baker.
I thought it was because I was like, I remember Troy Baker was in there for at least Sigma. I couldn't remember if he also did Kay because Kay was the clone. But Kay's voice actor is someone else.
But anyway, for the Zero Escape developers, if you're watching, I'm available. I'll voice. If Troy Baker's not available, you can ask me to do it.
What do you like? What music's really spoke out to you?
I don't remember it. I'd have to hear it. We're gonna do it in the escape room.
I mean, we can, but just listen to this music. This is
in
the lounge. Yeah. But we don't have to.
I mean,
it could be like we're hanging out in the lounge.
It's really there's a lot of urgency in this track.
Okay.
For going through secret files.
Give me.
Unless you want to go through them really intensely.
Okay, so what do you want?
I don't know. I don't remember what all the music was.
Well, you said so you don't want anything intense.
The garden might be nice. Yeah, we've had a lot of good talks in the garden.
All right, we're headed.
Mainly Luna. We sat with Alice for a bit. We talked with Fi out in the garden.
I don't remember.
This is perfect.
Okay.
This is great for our because we're not really doing like a hardcore gameplay. We're just going through files here, so
all right.
A nice little backdrop.
So the secret files, AB room. This is where you play the AB game. Not anything too exciting, so I don't think we need to read this, but I'll just leave up.
No, it's we haven't read this stuff before, so
okay.
It appears to be an elevator car. There are 6 AB rooms in the warehouse. On floor A, from the left, they're referred to as first blah blah blah. The interior of each room is identical to the others with a voting device and a hatch in the ceiling.
AB gate.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, some of these are kind of obvious. Okay,
so
yeah,
can we just skip the obvious ones?
You have to have a key to open it, and doesn't also include a safety feature. Oh, I see. Well, that's good. Anyway, yeah, keep going.
The bracelet.
Each person has a bracelet. Has 4 needles. 2 situations, the bracelet comes off. These are things that we know. Your person heart stops or they win the game or something. AI is short for not artificial intelligence, but artificial insemination, which is a process by which eggs are fertilized without the use of a male organ.
It is commonly used in the breeding of dairy cattle and pigs, but has also been, oh my god. Oh, I'm being told in this case AI stands for artificial intelligence, which is another thing entirely. So they've got douchey ones like that. We're talking about artificial intelligence.
Nice.
Have a nice blue.
Oh, word 0 the third says before he leaves.
Have a
Here are a few variations. Have a nice trick.
Oh, I like your 0
Have a nice
voice.
trap. Have a nice traitor.
All right, quantum computer.
This is a device built by Tom Kwan, a Boise, Idaho commuter. That's actually a lie. A quantum computer is a highly advanced machine.
Oh, sorry.
The highly advanced machine that uses quantum phenomena, such as superposition and entanglement, to perform calculations. Let's say, for example, that you want to determine the prime factors of 5,183. A Van Neumann-style computer, let's call him Paul, would
Paul
say,
Newman.
Can I divide it by 2, 3, 5? And just run through numbers like that until it got the answer. Mr. Kwan, on the other hand, the computer, not the imaginary commuter, would just look at 5,183 and say, obviously it is 71 times 73. A traditional computer with n bits can only be in one of 2 square root of n. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm. No, not square root. It's 2 to the n.
2 to the power of n?
2 to the power of n,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. 2 to the power of n states at once, but a quantum computer with n qubits can be in up to 2 to the power of n states simultaneously. This means a quantum computer can complete calculations that are currently impossible. That's amazing, Mr. Kwan. Are you seeing anybody?
Yeah, this is actually all very accurate. And yeah, superposition and entanglement are basic quantum mechanic
too far.
principles. Oh, geez.
Floor A graffiti.
Okay.
Someone has written 2 Milkman Go comedy on the wall in the warehouse floor in the warehouse on floor A. Presumably it refers to a pair of milkmen visiting a comedy club. The sentence construction, however, is obviously wrong. There must be a reason why.
Okay, so some of these, I will say, get very, very spoilery. Oh, God.
For what? We played the game, though.
Well, no, we've played the game, so there's nothing to spoil. But when you're in the game, like, looking at these...
Yeah, this is why we haven't done them yet, because they spoil things that...
Yeah.
You don't want to spoil anything
Right now they're kind of playful, but they get extremely spoilery.
It's a deadly game that 9 people have been forced to play. Its official name is... The Nonary Game! Ambidex Edition!
You should have been Zero the Third.
As part of the Nonary Game, the participants must also play the Ambidex Game, or AB Game.
Alright.
What's the purpose of the Nonary Game? To escape by walking through the door marked with a number 9? How do you open the number 9 door? You have to earn at least 9 BP. How do you earn BP? Go to the AB room and play the AB room. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized ABCD. ABCD. Okay. Alright, we know these rules.
Yeah, we've seen these rules a bunch of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the parent solo. Yeah. Did you want to read it, or it's just
no? It's just reiterating.
Oh, jeez.
That.
We know the
okay,
BP.
Yeah, BP bracelet points. This is the number 9 door. You need to have 9 points in order to open it, and it will not stay open more than 9 seconds once someone opens it. But you have to have 9 points in order to leave, otherwise you get penalized. Yeah.
This is not strictly correct, however. The time period 0 the third is referring to is the time when the door is fully open. That means if one takes into account the time when the door is opening and when it's closing, it's open for somewhat more than 9 seconds.
Okay, that makes sense. We know what a lunar eclipse is, but what does this say? Certain times the sun, earth, and moon align in such a way that the moon is completely within the earth's shadow. This causes the moon to appear reddish-brown in color as light from the sun passes through the earth's atmosphere and reflects off the moon's surface. Incidentally, the game refers to a lunar eclipse on New Year's Eve in 2028, which is, or rather will be, an actual event.
It is an event.
It will be visible only in the eastern hemisphere at 4:52. Yeah, so, in 2028, we could,
that's what I'm saying is because there are missions, like I got the ad from NASA to apply to be one of the astronauts for the Artemis mission.
But Crystalios will not be going into space.
I'm not going into space.
We don't have to worry about that.
I'm not even qualified for that.
Sopril. One of the drugs used by the Nonary bracelets. Extremely powerful anesthetic. It is the first drug injected when someone breaks a rule. This drug also appeared in Virtue's Last Reward's sister title, 999. It was created by Mr. H, who was the president of Cradle Pharmaceuticals and appeared in 999. He developed it by extracting and purifying an alkaloid from a variety of mandrake. His high usage can lead to some side effects, including severe memory loss. It can also be aerosolized and used as anesthetic or knockout gas.
All right, so that's a pretty important one.
Do you want to read the tubicurine?
Do you want me to use it?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the drugs used by the Nonary bracelets and an extremely powerful muscle relaxant. This is the second drug injected by the bracelets if a rule is broken. The tubocurine is injected 9 minutes after the sopril. It causes the respiratory muscles to cease functioning, and the body perishes from lack of oxygen. Tubocurine is a component in some of the poisons used by indigenous populations in South America, who tip their arrows with poison when hunting. It can be counteracted with a cholinesterase inhibitor, but it's not clear if the Nonary Game facility has any of this antidote available. So we know that neostigmine has it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Acronym for Automatic Diagnosis and Analysis Machine. This device uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging
Sorry.
to.
Oh my god.
Crystal EOS
It's not.
is really
It's very sensitive.
imaging to examine and diagnose anyone put in it. It's similar to MRI machines you might find in modern day hospitals, only much smaller and more efficient. An advanced computer built into the device can automatically diagnose most issues and ailments. If the subject of diagnosis is already deceased, the atom can perform a virtual autopsy to determine the cause of death. Is that what we did to some of the characters?
Yep.
Did we do an autopsy on them?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We did on the old woman.
You want to read?
Okay, we've seen this one in the game.
Oh, right.
Oh, this is pretty useful. I'll read this. When an epidemic spreads beyond a certain area, it becomes a pandemic. Some historical pandemics include cholera, typhoid fever, tuberculosis, the Black Plague, and smallpox.
Back pig.
Black Plague and smallpox. Certain influenza outbreaks have also reached pandemic or near pandemic levels of infection. Oh geez, this is before, COVID.
Yeah, and
In Spain, 1919, an influenza outbreak was said to have caused 40 to 50 million deaths.
the pandemic of back pain. That
Oh,
sounded
boy.
like you said back pain the first time.
Oh,
A
this
powerful
is-
virus whose worldwide spread is an integral part of this story. If you want to know what radical and six mean, you'll just have to play the game and find out. Oh, that's nice.
Okay, simple. A syringe that has easily swappable vials. Okay, some of this is pretty
We'll
straightforward.
alternate reading these.
Okay, this is just an explanation of the CDs, the secondary doors. This is a little bit of color theory. You
Stands
need to
for
read this.
erotic units. Ugh. EU is a system developed to measure a combination of physical, emotional, and situation attractiveness. It ranges from 0 to 20, where 20 might be Marilyn Monroe and 0 might be Gilbert Gottfried.
Aww!
I don't know. I don't know if I put her that high.
Marilyn
Anyway,
Monroe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't find her very. Anyway, for the curious, Danny Trejo. Who the fuck is that? I mean, I know pop culture. For the curious, that guy rates 16 EU. Just being sexy does not guarantee a high EU rating. For example, Solid Sun is a 22. Not to be confused with competing systems of hotness or sexability. Sexability? Is that?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said that word
Solid
before.
Sun, you're looking very sexable tonight.
Oh, fuck. The EU system weighs a number of factors such as practicality, sustainability, emotional investment, and the bias of the observer. Women with a high EU rating have usually mastered the art of the tease. Well, yeah, of course. Ugh, she's gotta be into me. There's no way she's... A collection of films...
Grandpa videos.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you can read it.
No, you should read it.
A collection of films that Temioji has gathered. Their content isn't really explicit per se, but they still aren't really appropriate for someone Quark's age.
I think
It
they're
should-
explicit.
Be noted that the term does not imply the videos contain grandpas or grandpa-like actors.
Oh, I bet they do.
Sigma's Cat Problem, Part 1.
Sigma has a strange verbal and possibly psychological tic, which causes him to make cat puns whenever he talks about cats. The cause of this behavior seems to be an experience he had as a child. When Sigma was in preschool, there was a deserted house near his school that everyone called the Cat Mansion. He'd always loved cats, so every day he would visit the Cat Mansion and give the cats that lived there some of his lunch. One day, he realized that he could understand what the cats were saying to one another. A magical black cat appeared and told him that it had given him this gift in exchange for giving food to its fellows. But the magical cat said,
Okay, I think this is just basically that Sigma is Sailor Moon.
"In the name of the moon, shut the fuck up." "You can never tell anyone about your gift," the magical black cat warned. Luna warned. "If you do, you'll be cursed." But young Sigma was so happy about his newfound ability that he slipped and told a girl about it, so the black cat cursed him. His curse was to speak only in cat puns for the rest of his life. Fortunately for him, a magical white cat,
Artemis,
came along soon afterward, and he was kind of he didn't want anyone to be put in danger, and he always had to go against any dangerous plan the girls went.
Anyway,
he
Artemis felt the curse was a little too harsh and lessened it, so that he would only talk in cat puns when talked about cats. And they lived happily ever after. Who's they? The cats?
Wow, I don't know. Oh boy.
Okay, we don't have to read this. This is about the phone in the crew quarters.
Did we try these numbers?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, it's the phone. It's cute.
They have a history. The invention of the telephone generally credited to Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, but there's dispute in some circles as to whether or not this is the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
Golem. Shoot!
Crystalios. Come on. The golem is an anthropomorphic creature from Jewish folklore. Golems are made from clay and will obey any orders given to them by their creators without question, although they tend to take instructions very literally. A golem is created by performing a holy ritual, then kneading the clay into the shape of a person, chanting a spell, and writing the Hebrew word emet, truth, on the golem's forehead. Erasing the E changes the word to met, which is Hebrew for death. Doing this deactivates the golem. Interesting. It reminds me of like, I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream. Do you remember the segment where you have to make a golem? Yeah. One of the golems found in the nonary game facility, he's discovered lying on the maintenance table in the golem bay. His product ID, he's asked to be referred to by the last bit, which is of course golem. Much to his surprise, this ends up being pronounced like golem anyway. On a side note, golem stands for Golem type male Cockney model.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're going to give us Luna's code has a very specific, and oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Let's see that.
Alright, the Chinese room is a thought experiment developed by American philosopher John Searle to contest some of the ideas about artificial intelligence. The experiment itself is explained in more depth in the game, but the general idea behind it is to pose the question, do intelligent responses indicate actual understanding? Searle contests that a computer could be programmed to respond intelligently in conversation with humans, so much so that it would seem to be human itself, but that it would not necessarily, or perhaps could not, actually understand what it was saying. Of course, this raises the question, how can we know that human minds are not, in essence, Chinese rooms? Can we really say that we understand the things we say, or are we just simulating understanding? Ooh. I love that.
Yeah,
see, this is where it gets...
It's a good point.
I'm gonna read this one.
All right.
Okay. The Turing test is designed to gauge a computer's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior. First developed by British mathematician Alan Turing. The test has 3 participants, a human judge, a human subject, and a machine. The judge engages in conversation with the human and the machine, and if the judge cannot determine who is the machine and who is the machine is considered to have passed the Turing test. When Phi mentions that perhaps she and her companions have been captured to perform a test, she is referring to the Turing test. She called it the Voight-Kampff test in the game.
Oh, right.
Alright, we know this.
An acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Labor Electronic Machine. Golems are robots developed and sold by an American corporation called the Hephaestus Systems.
Nice.
Some of the units in this facility, however, have had their software significantly enhanced by Zero Senior. A portion of them have also been given ABT, created by Zero Senior. Incidentally, ABT is short for Artificial Biological Tissue.
See, if you got this before you experienced Golem, you would know too much, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. The gist of Golem's somewhat rambling explanation is that the center of thought doesn't necessarily have to reside in the body. In the case of Golem, the self clearly resided in the mainframe and operated the body remotely. Since a self-aware robot could exist this way, he theorized, what would prevent humans from doing the same? If humans are actually being controlled by an outside force, then is there actually any such thing as free will? It's pretty deep. I love it.
It is, yeah. These are great.
They're real philosophical questions. All right, the wound 1. These are the wounds of the Akane. Okay.
From the blades.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Coroner.
Not to be confused with a coroner. A coroner is a government or official who assists law enforcement by investigating the cause of a death and dealing with the paperwork and logistics surrounding corpses. It can also be colloquially used to refer to someone who performs these duties, whether or not they are actually employed by the government. An autopsy, yeah.
Oh, wait, I love that. It is also super gross. Depends.
Yeah, it depends how squeamish you are.
Luminol is an organic compound with the chemical formula C8H7N3O2. When mixed with hydroxide salt and hydrogen peroxide, it will glow blue when it comes in contact with blood and certain other substances. This property has made it a useful tool in criminal investigations where it can reveal blood stains that have been cleaned up. Keep this in mind the next time you're contemplating how to deal with the neighbors listening to death metal at 3 in the morning.
Oh, that's too real.
Really funny.
If you do that, don't do that. At first glance, Kay's bracelet seems different from the others. Specifically, it appears to be attached to his suit. Although the design is slightly different, it is not a part of his suit. The bracelet is attached directly to his wrist, with the face looking out through a hole in his armor. Just like the other bracelets, it will only come off when he escapes or when his heart stops beating. How would it come off, though? It'll still be inside his armor. It'll just be kind of jiggling around like loose.
I think it might slip out of the hole, if you know what I mean. Generalized amnesia. A memory condition where the sufferer retains knowledge such as language, social common sense, and so on, but memories of their own past and personality disappear. Its cause is usually psychological, but in rare cases it can be caused by serious head trauma. I've actually heard of brain tumors in very rare cases essentially causing amnesia. Anyway, Kay suggested that an extremely painful breakup might have been the cause of his condition, but generalized amnesia usually requires a much more powerful trigger than breaking up with someone. In fact, a painful breakup often has the opposite effect. You want desperately to forget, but find that to be impossible, which leads to all sorts of mental disorders, like PTSD. Or so the person sitting behind me says.
Who's writing these?
It's just...
Oh, it's just like the writers.
Yeah,
being quirky.
Alright. Oh, they're all...
Twice cooked pork.
Yeah.
Paella, nasi goreng, and schnitzel. Good stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Korean dish, borscht.
I think it's yukgaejang.
Okay. Tomka gai.
Oh yeah, tomka gai. Oh my god, I love tomka gai. It's so good. It is so good. We have to try it sometime.
And chef's pasta. Sometimes you don't know what it is until you take a bite. Sometimes you don't even know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have a nice number 2.
Have a nice drama. Have a nice trace. Have a nice trumpet.
I don't remember the trumpet one. Oh, here's a really big spoiler.
What was the title of this?
Free the Soul.
Go ahead.
Okay, an emerging religious organization with a rapidly growing membership. Some figures claim their congregation numbers over 1 million in countries across the world. Originally, the organization called itself Free the Soul of Y, but later dropped of Y to simply become Free the Soul. No! The founder of the religion is known only as Brother, and his true identity is a mystery. Only a small number of the highest-ranking members have ever seen him. The doctrine of Free the Soul demands that its adherents separate themselves from the world, free themselves of lust, and release their souls from their physical bodies so that they can be purified. Its followers believe that they will be born again as a new race and, that the world will be transformed into a place of equality with no conflict or poverty. Considering how a peaceful world
any of you
of
can understand
equality
a word
with
Crystal
no
is
conflict
saying.
or poverty usually plays out in the movies, they seem like a scary group of people. What?
I can't understand a word Crystalios is saying
Free
if I
the
look
Soul
away from the
is
screen.
a powerful new religious order dedicated to establishing a new world order, and the Myrmidons are their elite, frontline soldiers in that secret war. The general public knows nothing about the Myrmidons, but their actions have put them on watch lists of intelligence communities across the globe. Rumors say that all Myrmidons have the same face, suggesting that they may all be clones of a single person. No one knows where this rumor comes from exactly, but I could tell you that it's a very credible source. It's
Okay,
Dio.
good. Oh, yeah. The founder of Free the Soul, although he prefers not to be referred to as such. As a child, he had a younger brother whom he was very fond of. Unfortunately, the worst happened and the younger brother was murdered. Rage and despair filled brother, and for 9 days and 9 nights he was consumed by his own misery. On the morning of the 10th day, however, he had a revelation. Mankind was rife with base desires and needed to be purified so that a new world could come into being. God had spoken to brother and given him a mission. Brother dedicated his life to realizing that mission, and at the age of 26, he established the YMCA. He claims that the Y is a symbol for miracles.
So, these are all given, I think, after Dio's ending, which Dio tells you a little bit, but it's so spoilery.
Feel free to stay at the Free the Soul of Y.
Oh, here's some information, the bracelets, that isn't revealed in the game.
My God.
What the hell? Oh my God, it's you literally touch this thing.
Put the controller down when you're doing it.
Okay, fine. That's actually a good idea. The bracelet put on the left wrist of the 9 participants in the Embedix game has important feature that's never mentioned. As soon as it's put on, a needle on the underside activates and it inserts itself into the wearer. That doesn't necessarily mean that it injects a drug, only that it activates and pierces the skin. Maybe there's something on the needle, or maybe there isn't. All that's certain is that when someone puts on the bracelet, they get poked.
But why? That's really weird. I guess we'll get another explanation. Maybe. Alright, we know these. Yeah, A is the choice to ally.
Yeah.
What was the second AB thing?
It's just the rules.
Oh,
The
yeah.
prisoner's
We're
dilemma.
pretty familiar with those.
Yeah, but we're...
The penalty, yep.
Alright, the voting machine, we know that. The hazmat suits. Okay, we know this information. It's just all the air pressure stuff. Scotch. A type of whiskey made in Scotland.
Hell yeah.
Its unique aroma comes from the peat
scotch out
used
there right
in
now.
manufacture. Scotch is Tenmyoji's favorite drink. See, you're the old grumpy old man.
He often claims, a little scotch should scratch this itch. I like that. After returning from work, which annoys Quark. I mean, I can get that. A well-known drink made by putting a scoop of vanilla ice cream in some root beer, also known as a black cow. I've never heard that. Quark is taken to saying root beer floats my boat, which warms Tenmyoji's heart.
Aww, I think that's really cute. Alright, fluorine, floor B. Okay, we know this. Researcher's journal. Okay, we reread this. This is the translation of the Latin. Yeah, this is the excerpt from the journal of a researcher. Due to space constraints, some sections have been cut out.
Yeah, we saw that during the game. Sounds like someone named a doll Jumpy, but why?
The secret of Quark's hat.
Oh, this is what I've been wanting to know. Can you read this to me?
Don't you think his hat looks kind of weird? There's that huge band that just wraps around his head. Is he hiding a pair of Ferengi ears? Oh my God! Oh! Yeah. Or is he just a young Lobot? Well, this is just between you and me, but he's got missiles in there. The sides of his hat are hiding those pods like you see on helicopter or SAM sites. Except these missiles are tiny, and when he gets in trouble, both sides of his hat open up, and they just fly all at once like psh. Just kidding. Actually, he just keeps snacks in there.
Do you know what a SAM site is?
No.
A surface-to-air missile.
Oh.
Sites.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know what Accelavir is. All right. This is just about the treatment pods. I'm not seeing anything that we don't already know.
It can perform gene therapy? I don't know. We should,
Okay, an amazing machine that augments an individual's natural ability to heal, strengthens their immune systems, accelerates their metabolism, and can cure many otherwise incurable diseases. In addition, it can create personalized medicines, perform gene therapy, and even repair the effect of radiation damage. What an incredible machine! It's not that incredible if it can't cure Radical 6. You say, yes, well, I guess you've got a point, but don't worry. It also has a function called cold sleep. Cold sleep uses cast freezing to freeze the entire body without damaging it. That way, even if the disease you have can't be cured, you can be frozen until a cure is found. Cold sleep.
There are generally 2 types of cold sleep. The first involves lowering your internal body temperature. This reduces your basal metabolic rate and induces a state similar to hibernation. In other words, your body is still actively functioning, just very slowly. The other sort of cold sleep is the one in this game. This involves freezing your body to essentially lock it in whatever state it was in. Until recently, this was impossible because the expansion and crystallization that took place during the freezing process my God, why can't I talk? Irrevocably damaged human tissue. In the world where this game takes place, however, cast technology has overcome this hurdle and made cryonics a reality. The resuscitation rate is nearly 100%. In fact, you'd be much more likely to die in a plane crash, which means that freezing yourself to visit the future is safer than flying from Tokyo to Milan.
Huh.
CAS stands for Cells Alive System. It allows organic tissue to be safely and non-destructively frozen. In this game, Cas is used to put people in cold sleep. It super cools the subject with a magnetic field and causes them to freeze almost instantly, preventing crystallization. In real life, the problem comes when you try to thaw something out, which also must be done instantly. In this game, however, the technological magic of the treatment pod makes returning from cold sleep possible. I like how they have to use like magic. You want to read this one?
The past 2 nonary games, November 2018. Oh, we were still in grad school at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, 16 children were reported missing. In actuality, 18 children were taken, but 2 were never reported. The person in charge was someone we will refer to as H. The purpose of the game was to conduct experiments on morphic resonance with the children as test subjects. I won't go into the specifics here, but the short version is that this was the first nonary game. November 1, 2027. A total of 9 people participated in this session. They were abducted just as the children had been, but this time H was not in charge of the game. Clover was a participant in both games, and now she finds herself playing the nonary game yet again.
Yeah.
Esper residents. In the context of this game, espers are people with the ability to access the morphogenetic field. An esper can increase the strength of their signal by being in close proximity to other espers, assuming they are the strongest. The strongest signal will absorb any weak ones nearby and use them to amplify its own strength, sort of like waves. The biggest wave adds the amplitude of smaller waves to its own and covers them up. Nonary veterans. Oh,
the following 9 people were participants in the nonary game that Clover claims to have been a part of. The last one confirms that she was part of one. This one says she claims to...
Oh, no, it's true.
It's true, okay.
The claim is true.
Ace... middle-aged man. Snake, Clover's older brother. Real name is Light.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Santa. Really?
Yeah.
Arrogant, uncooperative young man who delivers presents. Clover, still Clover, just younger and with a jacket. Junpei, hero of 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. That's 999. June, Junpei's childhood friend. Real name Akane Karashiki. 7, amnesic detective. Lotus, attractive programmer, has 2 daughters. Kubota, skittish man gets blown up.
It's pretty great.
Wow. There's a type of carbamate compound which acts as a reversible
acetylcholinesterase inhibitor.
Exciting. You can read this.
Okay. A type of carbamate compound which acts as a reversible acetylcholinesterase inhibitor, exciting the parasympathetic nerve. This allows it to counteract the effects of the muscle relaxant tubercurin. It can be delivered with an injection gun like the one you see here.
Nice. We're getting through it. Oh, Ice 9 is a special form of water with a melting point of 36 degrees Celsius. In other words, it freezes at room temperature. The idea of Ice 9 was originally put forth by the American science fiction author Kurt Vonnegut. I think that's how that's pronounced.
Yeah.
But his version of Ice 9 has a melting point of 45.8 degrees Celsius. There's a rumor that says all the water in Alice's body is actually Ice 9. Who knows whether it's true or not, but if it is, then she has to always keep her body temperature above 36 degrees Celsius. Yikes. You'd think she'd have more clothes on in that case.
This H refers to Gentaro Hongo. He was one of the characters who appeared in 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. He was the person who supervised the kidnapping of the children who participated in the nonary game in 2018. He is the CEO of Credo Pharmaceuticals and a devoted follower of Free the Soul. So this is, that's pretty, like, spoilery.
Yeah.
Morphogenetic field theory. This theory holds that there is a sort of field where the form, structures, patterns, etc. of everything in reality are stored. This includes abstract things like language, song, thoughts, inspiration, culture, customs, and ideas. Any information contained, transmitted, or created by matter is held in the morphogenetic field. In the Zero Escape series, people who can communicate by accessing this field are known as espers. If morphogenetic field theory is true, however, then it would mean that, in a sense, all humans are espers of a sort.
Yeah, if you experience deja vu, it means you threw your consciousness forward or back. Immunoglobulin is an important part of the body's defense against viruses, bacteria, and other invaders. It identifies and neutralizes certain threats. The IG replicator found in the lab gets its name from immunoglobulin.
Yeah.
Which would have been kind of spoilery.
Yeah. Integer factorization.
That's...
I don't think we need to go through this.
Yeah, it's just the math behind finding factors of a big number.
Yeah.
A relatively well-known Latin. What is this? Tu fui ego eris.
Yeah.
It might look like it's talking about a pair of sexy toaster waffles.
What?
I mean, okay. But it actually means something like what you are, I was, what I am, you will be. Sometimes it's used as an epitaph. The implication is that the person in question was once alive, like the reader, but that the reader will someday also be dead. A little ominous, I guess. That's what I was saying about the grave, like funny like tombstone things that you can put on.
Yeah.
SOAS, Special Office of Internal Security, is an elite intelligence organization under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. They investigate potentially disruptive or dangerous elements such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state of the citizenry. Their stated purpose is to maintain peace, but their charter authorizes them to arrest, detain, or even kill. Scary.
Okay.
Yikes.
Oh boy.
Prisoner's Dilemma. Go ahead. I mean, we went over this a lot.
We've read this.
But
Antimatter bomb. Okay, the bomb uses the energy generated by the... Okay, we also know this. Yeah, this is annihilation energy.
Annihilation energy.
Okay, we know what a detonator is.
Well, can you go back to that? That second paragraph. Pressing the switch when you're less than a meter away from the bomb will trigger the immediate mode, and the bomb will detonate immediately. If you're more than a meter away from the bomb, however, pressing the switch will activate the delay mode, and the bomb will explode 30 minutes later. I don't think that was covered in the game.
Doesn't seem to be, no.
So, Dio could have blown up the place immediately instead of setting a timer.
Oh, yeah, it had a button.
Yeah.
Okay. Cybernetic arm.
Depending on where you were standing in relation to the bomb.
A device surgically created to weaponize genetically engineered psychic bears. What? Just kidding, it's actually an arm augmented for online sex chat. Not really. In truth, it's the arm from a mysterious libido-powered robot. I'm just messing with you. A cybernetic arm is actually a mechanical limb that you can control with your mind. Really, it has titanium alloy for bones, and those are covered with ABT, or artificial biological tissue. The ABT even has artificial nerves, so you can feel pain through it just like a real arm. It has veins that connect to the rest of your body, so if you inject medicine into a cybernetic arm, it'll flow to the rest of your body.
My question about the cybernetic arm is that he bled white. If it's connected to your body, all your blood should be flowing. So does he have exclusively white blood, or does he still have red blood with the white blood? Because technically red blood should have been mixing with the white blood.
That is a thing, yeah. It's something that, I thought about that earlier. I think it's just a rule with it kind of thing. So, that was supposed to be the indicator.
He could have just exclusively artificial blood. He could have had a transfusion. Yeah,
I think the whole point of that whole scene was just to say, oh, something's not right with Sigma. All right, the Bluebird necklace. The necklace Suna has never seen without has a cage containing a bluebird hanging from it. If you twist the key on the bottom, it plays music. Someone special gave it to her as a gift, and she says it reminds her of the following lesson. Search for happiness wherever you can, because the search itself is what makes you happy. Oh yeah, oh my god, we know the 3 laws of robotics. The 0th law of robotics is 0. A robot may not harm humanity or by inaction allow humanity to come to harm. Clearly the 0th law has over the first 3, priority over the first 3. So the first law would have an unwritten addendum, except where this would conflict with the 0th law. Whether or not 016 was aware of this law is unclear, but in any event, 016 did act in accordance with it.
That's Luna.
Yeah, they just, I think at this point they're trying to mask. Oh boy.
For some reason, Sigma, or perhaps the author, seems to be unnaturally obsessed with swimsuits. Why is that? Was he involved in a horrible swimsuit accident, now repressed, in his youth? Did he have a crush in high school on a girl on the swim team who put her Olympic aspirations ahead of any possible romance? Yeah. Is he just a perv? The world may never know. Yep, it's always the girl's fault for not being interested in the guy.
Alright, that's just...
Yeah, we know what that is. These are the things that blew up around the world, and there's one down here in the center.
In a general sense, an antimatter reactor is a system that generates electricity or some other form of power from matter-antimatter reactions. This facility uses hydrogen and antihydrogen, The reaction powers a turbine, which generates energy and powers everything in the facility. It looks like a giant octopus, but it's definitely not edible no matter how you cook it. Okay, anti-hydrogen. A particular type of antimatter. Normal hydrogen atoms have one proton and one electron, but an anti-hydrogen atom has the opposite, one antiproton and one positron. In November 2010, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, issued a statement announcing that they had captured an anti-hydrogen atom. They claimed that they had gathered 38 of them. In fact, I managed to hold them in a special container for 0.2 seconds. Less than 6 months later, in June 2011, they managed to capture several more anti-hydrogen atoms and contain them for more than 1,000 seconds. Although the creation and storage of antimatter is still a difficult obstacle, these results suggest that antimatter reactors could someday be a possibility. I remember when all of this was a thing. Yeah. By that point, I was in mathematics and outside of engineering, but was still very in touch with that. So I was really excited to see that slide. I totally forgot they had that. All right.
TNT stands for Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. Yep. TNT. It's exploding.
Okay. All right. E equals mc squared. Einstein's famous equation. Put simply, it means that energy. Oh my god. Equals the mass times the speed of light squared. It describes how much energy you get by annihilating matter with antimatter, but also carries the interesting implication. Oh my god. But also carries the interesting implication that with enough energy, you could theoretically create matter. Okay, 63 terajoules. I'm not gonna wait. This was in the game.
Yeah. Oh, the ninth lion.
Yeah.
Ninth refers to ninth, but it's spelled wrong, and it's because it's an anagram.
Yeah. The man on the moon, whatever. Ah. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
You're on 14.
Thanks.
Hourglass. Oh. Okay.
Okay. I think.
Yeah, we saw this one in the security room. This was used. That's what Fi was using to measure time while she was looking at the video.
Gentle points.
Oh, these are a measure of how much of a gentleman you are. Somewhere deep in the United Kingdom is an organization that tracks all gentlemen, determining their caliber based off an ancient and Byzantine collection of rules and guidelines. Every year during the spring, a representative of this organization conducts a cursory investigation of each member's behavior, or at least appears to, and then awards gentle points based on what they saw. The following formula is used. Old ladies escorted across the street times Tofats owned. I don't know what the fuck that is. Top hats. Tofats.
Puzzle
like, what the fuck is a Tofat? Times puzzle solved times money given to gentleman tracking organization equals total oh yeah, that's exactly how that works.
Knife. Okay.
Yeah, myrmidons.
Alright, the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Principle of causality. Okay. The law of cause and effect, specifically that a cause must precede every effect. At the quantum level, however, things aren't as immutable. The principle of quantum superposition holds that any physical system, such as an electron, exists at least partially in all of its theoretical states or configurations, but when measured gives a result corresponding to only one of them. A classic example of this is the double-slit experiment, where light appears to behave as both wave and particle. One of the interesting implications of this is that, in a sense, you are influencing the past. By observing a system, you are defining the cause of an effect you witness and in a way altering the past. Normally I would comment here that the quantum level is where shit gets real, but given the nature of this phenomenon, it's like it would be more accurate to say that at the quantum level is where shit gets unreal. I love that slide. Oh, this slide, okay, I really want to read it because this slide is the game making fun of itself. It's like, look at Knox's 10 Commandments.
Okay.
Ronald Knox, a mystery writer from the UK, published the following as his rules for writing a mystery novel. 1. The criminal must be mentioned early on. 2. All supernatural or preternatural agencies are ruled out. 3. No more than one secret room or passage. 4. No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used, nor any appliance, which will need a long scientific explanation. 5. No one with extrasensory perception or similar powers can appear. 6. No accident must ever help the detective, nor must he ever have an unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. Shoot. 7. The detective must not commit the crime. 8. The detective must declare any clues he may discover. 9. The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must conceal nothing from the reader. 10. Twin brothers and doubles generally must not appear unannounced. All of these rules the game breaks and still wrote a successful mystery.
Well, yeah. These rules aren't necessarily... It's just someone kind of tooting their own...
Well, it is, but this is when you're writing 101 or form and technique of fiction, you're trying to write mystery. If you're keeping it in the real world, you can't, this is basically like bullshit ex machina, getting away from and suddenly at the end, there's twin brother of this guy who's innocent was actually the real guy. Like, that's not acceptable.
I don't know, revealing a twin can be pretty powerful.
But when you're still starting out, it's bullshit ex machina. Like, you can't go at the end, this was my twin brother. Like, that's what he's going for. But what the writers are trying to show is you can break all these rules and still write a very powerful mystery.
Well, yeah, rules are kind of, they're not necessarily meant to be broken, but if you break them in effective ways, it can really make your story stand out.
My favorite is the don't use anything that will need a long scientific explanation.
Oh yeah, this game doesn't do that at all.
In fact, they're relying on the complex science to make the game work.
It works.
All right, Sun, Moon, Star Key.
We know what these are. Yep. Wait. Frequently used by adolescent ne'er-do-wells, can be used as a necklace, but this is not recommended. Boy.
Test site mystery. All right. Zero time dilemma. The site in question was for a simulated manned mission to Mars held in the Nevada desert. On New Year's Eve 2028, the audio logs from the simulation contain a woman's voice, assumed to be one of the test subjects, saying the following: 6 of us are dead. Counting myself, there are only 3 left. I guess you could say I killed them. No, that's not quite right. Not just them. Not just these 6. All of them. All 6 billion. Most evidence seems to suggest that this was the beginning of the Radical 6 outbreak, and that the Nevada facility was the epicenter of the pandemic. Termites! A general term used to refer to the insects of the epifamily of Termitoidae, of the cockroach order Blattodea. That's right, even though they're sometimes called white ants, termites aren't even in the same family as ants. They're in the cockroach family instead. Also, king crabs are in the hermit crab order, and the remora is in the Perciformis order. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Have a nice trouble, have a nice tragedy, have a nice trust. Conjunction. Okay. A term used in positional astronomy. Put simply, it means that 2 celestial bodies appear, near one another in the sky. When used in the context of our solar system, it often refers to a position where the given celestial body is aligned with the sun. Okay, I thought the celestian thing was a typo. It should have been celestial. For example,
it does say celestial.
The first one, second line. To Celestian. I was like, that doesn't seem right. Anyway, for example, when Mars is on the opposite side of the sun from Earth, it's considered to be in conjunction with the Earth. Mercury and Venus, which orbit closer to the sun than the Earth does, have 2 types of conjunction. When they are hidden on the other side of the sun, and this is referred to as a superior conjunction. When they are lined up on the near side of the sun, this is called an inferior conjunction.
Okay.
Tenmyoji's picture.
Yeah, we kind of know about this, but that last paragraph, if you look at the left side of the picture, if you look closely, it almost looks like there's a man grinning in the background. Does it? Do you see him? Don't worry if it seems a little strange. A spirit medium has told us that the person in this picture is a guardian spirit who's looking after her. He must have shown up here because he'd heard what sort of destiny she had in store and decided to see how she was doing. I don't see a man in the left side.
I think the game's messing with us.
Yeah. Alright, last page.
Space.
A way of describing reality that adds a 4th dimension of time to the 3 dimensions of space. It was described by German mathematician Hermann Minkowski and therefore bears his name. It's also the name of a ski resort for miniature
Oh my god.
Minkowski. Oh my god,
that's really cute.
Lagomorph. Scientific name. That is one of my favorite pictures. I think I used that as a thumbnail at some point. And Zero the Third's actual name. Great.
Tenmyoji and Alice.
Okay. When they were split up at the red, blue, and green chromatic doors, Tenmyoji told Alice that there was something he had to tell her. That something was, of course, his identity, and that he already knew all about Alice and Ice Nine, and not because he'd heard about her from Clover. So she is Ice Nine, Mummy.
No, he just thinks he is. That never was really confirmed.
Okay.
So we get to find out what he said because it wasn't really clear.
Oh, that's
clarified.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, Tenmyoji and Clover.
After the second round of the AB game, after going through the purple and green doors, Clover, as a solo, was heard to say the following to Tenmyoji, her opponent. What the heck did you mean with all that? It's not fair. If you're telling the truth, then I... So what did Tenmyoji said to her? The same thing he'd meant to say to Alice, of course. He told her who he was. That simple fact shook Clover's resolve and made her vote ally. It probably hadn't been his original intention to betray her, but after thinking about Quark's safety, he probably felt he had no choice and picked betray. Interesting. A can stand for after and B for before, but they can also stand for anima and body. Everything that happened in this facility was part of the AB project.
The mystery of Phi, are you ready?
So, who was Phi? There are a few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed at the Nevada test site. Buy our third game, please.
Pretty much.
Yeah, great. Deactivation. Here's a little something more about the bomb deactivation passwords. Those passwords, they aren't just gibberish. There's something hidden in each one. I can only give you one hint. +1. Good luck. There's a lot more to the story, but I think we'll stop the secret archives here. Thank you for playing, and we hope you enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
What is the hint here? Do you know
The hint
them?
here, yeah, the bomb passwords spell something out. One of them spells crash keys. One of them spells free Z soul, like free the soul. One of them spells Myrmidon. Crash keys is Kurashiki. Free the soul, Myrmidon, and then the other one is my brother.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of how I memorized the passwords, is I knew what they did, so I just subtracted one.
I see. I figured, I knew you knew they spelled something out. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
This confirms that.
Yep.
That's all the secret files, right?
That's it. That's the whole game.
That was amazing.
That is the whole game.
But yeah, we wanted to go through all the secret files at the very end of the game so that we didn't spoil anything for anybody or for me. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed going through those. We definitely did. This is our longest series so far, so if
it'll probably be the longest series ever.
Well, I don't know about that. There may be other games that are longer, but yeah, if you stuck around through all these episodes, I think this is it's somewhere around 90. You are a trooper, and thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. Look at that timeline. My God.
Here, let's one final
go down.
Young Akane.
Yeah.
The main timeline.
Jesus.
All the main characters. Phi is all the way down here. We don't know anything about her yet. And then old Akane.
I like that it starts with young Akane and then old Akane.
Yeah, everything revolves around Akane.
It's at the top, it's her young face, and at the bottom, it's her old face. That feels like a very good narrative.
Akane is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. She's nuts. She is absolutely nuts. She was crazy in 999. She's crazy in this game. And Zero Time Dilemma, she was pretty dang great as well.
Well, I can't wait to go and play the others.
Yeah.
We're not going to do those next. We're going to do something else. Something new.
Yeah, something different.
A new series.
And we don't know what that is yet, so don't ask in the comments.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, yeah, but thank you again for watching. It's been a long series, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. Go play this game if you haven't. Support the devs.
Yeah, they really deserve it.
They also do the AI Somnium Files series, which is newer and really good. They are just as wacky, if not wackier. Lots of good character design, very memorable.
The new games too, the Somnium File games, are still in the psychological horror category, but I found them to be a lot more, I'm not going to say family friendly, but they're not as disturbing as these games are. For a lot of people, anyway.
For the like Nintendo crowd.
Yeah, if you're coming from a Nintendo background and you don't play like adult games. I mean, how do I say this politely? But they are a little more
mature content.
Yeah, they're true
or
anime
like
games.
Things that can be like triggering and stuff like that.
Like this game
and gore and stuff.
Yeah, this game does have heavy like trigger warnings, like the idea of suicide, the violence, the pandemic stuff. Like a lot of that stuff can be really understandably difficult.
Especially like post-COVID.
Oh my god, I loved getting to experience this game post-COVID because like I mean COVID could have gone anywhere. Like we're lucky we're in sort of the post-pandemic phase, but COVID still is among us.
Yeah. So still gotta be careful.
Yes.
But yeah, this is also Crystal Eos's favorite game.
It is.
And you know,
can you see why?
We got to I you know, it reminds me of you.
Oh.
When we were a lot of things just kind of like, yep, that's EOS.
This game saw us through when we were getting to know each other.
Yeah.
We played it through our engagement and through our earliest
this game
life.
So the series is actually like really important to us, just as far as things that have gone on in our lives, because we got engaged playing this and we also got married.
Yeah, and we grew closer too, like back in New York City when I showed it to you and you subsequently forgot. Which
it was I probably just, you know, I had Radical 6 when we were playing the game, so I forgot
any of you fellow hardcore Zero Escape fans, how cool would it be to just erase the game and clean slate it blind?
Well,
like
I have a gift.
Yeah, that was amazing. Well, it was just because it was so long. Like with the Tomb Raider games and stuff like that we played in New York City, I remember kind of like little things, and I remember like the really weird bosses. But I don't remember a lot of small things in them.
Yeah.
And I don't remember enough to go, oh, that's Tomb Raider 1 from Tomb Raider Theory. I think at this point I kind of maybe can guess, but I can also guess really badly.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, thanks again so much.
Yeah.
We'll be back with something new and exciting.
Oh,
and
I'm gonna miss
if
this.
you like this video and you like what you see, you know, consider you can give us a like, subscribe. You can also do super thanks, and you can join as a member where you get exclusive content. There are a few different tiers of membership that you can select as well. We've got like solid silver, gold, and platinum levels. Each one has something better than the last. So yeah, we'll be back with something new and very exciting.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.